right, so welcome back to Cruise Control. Today we are in a Hyundai Genesis. This is before Genesis went on their own. But what a lovely car that we're in today. It's got a cool little heads-up display already. I like that it's a two-tone heads-up display. I haven't been in too many cars that do that. Most of the time it's like the same color. Right now the miles per hour are set in this like gold color. And then like the tracking to show you the distance and stuff like that is set to be in like a white. So very, very nice, very high class. I do like that about this vehicle. You can already tell that this was meant to be a luxury vehicle. So it's doing well as far as that part's concerned. Now let me tell you some of the favorite features that I like about this vehicle, what the owner likes, and what they don't like, what they wish they had instead. So number one, we're in Colorado, so I like having a heated steering wheel. That's nice. My hands aren't cold. I love that. And if you don't like the heated steering wheel, you can always just turn it off. This has heated and cooled seats, so I definitely like having that because right now we are getting close to winter, so when you first sit down into leather, it is cold. So I have the heated seats on. Those are going to warm me up here in a little bit. And then in the summertime, if you want to cool down, then they'll go ahead and they'll do the cooling as well. So that's my favorite. I love all that kind of fun stuff. I love having this sunroof that's going to be up here, let in all this light. This is a panoramic sunroof. So if you don't want the wind open because it's cold, like I just did, so I closed it, but I still want the light, you can leave this on here for lighting. Oh man, it really makes this thing open up, makes it feel airy, which I really do like. You got a little bit of power, everything. The seats themselves, they're a little firm for my taste. You know, for a luxury vehicle, I was kind of expecting a little bit more plush as far as like how comfortable the seats are. So they're a little firm. Headroom is set to a premium. You know, like I'm real close to hitting my head on some things. So does not have a lot of headroom. So if you're taller than 5'11", you are not going to be comfortable in this front seat. Driving dynamics. Well, this thing handles pretty well for being a big vehicle. There's not a lot of feel through the steering wheel, but its on center point is good. It doesn't waft, which is nice. A lot of old luxury cars, they would waft on center, so you couldn't feel like a good on center point. This one, you can definitely feel that good on center point. And if you guys want to know the horsepower and torque, it's right here. All right, so let's go ahead and get on it, see how it does. Delayed shift. So the heads-up display tells me the speed limit. That's pretty cool. I like seeing that on there. Keeps you out of trouble, so that way you know you're not going to go past the speed limit. But I didn't like the delayed shift that was on here. Seemed to try that again. Huh. Yeah. Seems to have a real delay here. So let's go in, do some paddle shifts here. Not that you really want to paddle shift a luxury car, but if you want the transmission to be responsive, it is way more responsive with the paddles than it was on its own. I'm assuming that it was tuned to just be comfortable. And you can change the driving modes through here. So we can go to eco, we can go to sport. So the next time around, I'm going to be in sport mode. See if that helps with the shift being a little bit more responsive, a little snappy is what I'm looking for here. It's got a powerful V6, but when you're waiting for that delay, it doesn't feel very powerful. So let's try it again. Okay. It's quoted as having a 0 to 60 in like 5.6 seconds, but I don't feel it, to be quite honest with you. It doesn't feel that responsive. It eventually starts pulling. It takes a while, so interesting. So I'm going to take that back out of sport, go normal, get everything quieted back down. Road noise. Yeah, it's present, but it's definitely subdued. Some of this probably has to do with this being open, so let's go ahead and close that up. Yeah, you can get some tire hum that's inside there. So the sound deadening is probably not Lexus quality, but you know what? For what you get in this vehicle, it's not bad. I definitely love all the heated features. I don't like having cold hands. The owner does not like some of the electrical issues that he's had. Some of the parking sensors and some of the other types of sensors have kind of glitched out on him, is what he was letting me know. And then the ride is not as plush as what he was looking for. And the seats are not as comfortable as what he was looking for. So those are some of the things that he doesn't like. What he does like is it does have a lot of high tech stuff when the tech works. So he likes how techy it is. And he does like, driving it. It's a pretty fun little vehicle for being a luxury car. All right, so let's go here.
Curve ahead.
Curve ahead. It's letting me know that there's a curve, so don't mess up. Yeah, the steering is very luxury, right? So it's not what you would call I can feel the road. You can't, but it's what I kind of expect in a luxury vehicle anyways. So that's fine. All your buttons are really nice and clear. All the buttons on the dash are really nice and clear. The gauges I really like. They're very nice. The heads-up display is one of the best heads-up displays I've been in. So I'm a huge fan of this heads-up display. It is fantastic. You do get a little bit more road noise with that open. But you know what? It's so beautiful to be able to see that I think it's worth it myself. All right. So I am in the front seat. Remember, I am 5'11". This is in my driving position. I really like the low dash. I like the low door sill. I love the light that gets let inside here. As you can tell, though, if you're a tall driver, this is not going to be for you. I'm only 5'11". If you're over 6 foot, this vehicle is not for you. I do find a comfortable position for my elbows. What I don't like is this right here. You see how much space I have between my legs? It just doesn't feel good. I can't find a good sitting position. And then the seats themselves are a little bit too firm, a little bit too hard for me. A luxury car, I was expecting softer seats. So let's get to the back and let's see what kind of space I have back there. Okay, so the seats actually in the back are more comfortable than the ones in the front. They actually have longer for your legs, and the way they're sloped, they may not be softer, but they fit my body much better. And I actually have more headroom back here as well, even including this big sunroof. So I guess I'd rather be driven in than drive this vehicle because I am far more comfortable back here. I don't have a lot of legroom, but it's enough to be comfortable. We have a couple of mat pockets that are back here. We have our own AC. We actually have heated seats back here. So nice job, Genesis, Hyundai. That's really cool. I like seeing that. There's a button here to pull up the window shade. There's the little shades that come upside here. So if you're in the back, I could be driven by this in this car far longer than I could drive it. Back here, I could do 6 hours for a car journey. I'm fine back here. Up here, I wouldn't want to do more than 2 or 3. So about half that time. So, all right. So I'm back in the front seat and I just got out of the back seat and I 100% love the back seats so much more than these front seats. They're so much smaller for my legs. They're so much firmer that I just don't like them at all. So anyways, why do you buy this vehicle? Because you want value and luxury. That's why. Otherwise, you would have bought something like a Mercedes-Benz, a BMW, an Audi, a Lexus. Those would have been the luxury cars you would have gone with. But this offers much more value, especially on the used market. I looked at Car Gurus last night and within 100 miles of my area, found quite a few for under $15,000. So for everything that you get up here, I definitely like it. If you don't mind the harder seats and how short they are, try out the seats, sit in it. As far as the driving dynamics are concerned, it drives like a luxury car. It's not performance oriented as far as like going into corners and stuff like that. The steering is numb. It's fine on center, but the steering's definitely numb. The transmission decides to do different things when it wants to, so it's fine for around town. But when you really get into it, it sometimes will go and give it to you, and then other times it's like, I don't want to. So if you put it in the paddles, which you shouldn't have to paddle shift a car like this because it doesn't have a sporty intention, it doesn't really match the demeanor of the vehicle, but the transmission responds much better with the paddles. So what are you going to get out of this? You're going to get a luxury vehicle with okay gas mileage, about 20 miles per gallon average. No major issues that I can report. Again, electronics are the only thing that I'm aware of with this vehicle. Safe crash test ratings. and just a really good value. That's what this is going to give you. It's a baller on a budget. That's what this is right here. So good job, Hyundai, Kia, Genesis, all the different nameplates that you guys have. So I like it. Just better front seats. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Eric. This is Cruise Control. Have a good one.